Hello and welcome back to The Wars to Come. It's going to be a good episode tonight. I'm your host as always, Jesse Carpenter. We've got a full cast here tonight, so it's exciting. We are going over Worlds announcements that was announced today, and we're also going over Crasters pods. I should make it through half the episode, because I am drunk as shit. We have Mr. Aaron Groff tonight. How's it going, Groff?
Doing well. How you doing, man?
Good. We have Mr. CT. How's it going, CT?
Pretty good. Not as good as you, but pretty fucking good.
Yep. We have Mr. Alejandro. How's it going, Carl?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good.
And we have a Mr. esteemed guest from the wonderful podcast, Missing the Cut, the variety show, Mr. Mike Lamzik. How's it going, Lamzik?
So good. Thanks for having me on.
And Daddy's home for back-to-back episodes. We have Mr. Alex Black. How's it going?
Just trying to survive the heat, man.
Oh, that's good to hear. Is it hot out there?
Dude, it's so fucking hot. It was 90 degrees yesterday, and I don't know if you know, I've told literally everyone in this cast, but AC is not a thing in the Pacific Northwest, so.
That's not great.
Sucks to suck. I live in the Midwest where obesity runs rampant. We got ACs running out the wazoo, baby. So yeah, I have a window unit and units downstairs. We are cool and ready to go here. But yeah, so we are doing Crasters announcements. Like I said, that's going to be very exciting. It's the pod-based system. If you don't know what it is, we will have Mr. CT explain it to you. But before we get into that, we're going to go over the Worlds announcement, which dropped today. L5R and Thrones got their own Worlds.
Yay!
Yup.
It got moved back because apparently we're going to get a regionals at some point. Holland told us, so that's exciting. Or Primes or Optimus or whatever the fuck they're called. We're getting them. I'm excited. So, yeah, so it's moved back to February, which is a really bold choice in February in Minnesota. Just being honest. But it's exciting we are getting our own worlds, I guess. There's more seats than people play the game. So everyone can come for sure.
Yeah.
How many? They said what? 360 seats per game.
60 something.
That's
It's 360.
so no one's gonna miss it if they want to be on it. That's exciting.
Starlight caps out at 300, and they always sell out. So there's definitely more people than 360 playing the game.
Not on this continent, sir.
I meant this
Just it out
dog.
Oh.
We got to get these Euros to fly to the wonderful bustling city of Minneapolis in February. It's nice weather, I promise. You'll enjoy it. So yeah, that's it. But it is really exciting that we're getting our own worlds. We were expecting an announcement, or some of us were expecting an announcement of this sort. We discussed it on the White Book a little bit of how Will thought it was. I thought it was going to be pushed back just based on like the announcements of regionals and everything else. It just made more sense because Destiny, or one of the worlds is going to be in November or the end of October, right? So, FFG realized their resources, realized that most people, or like there's a large crossover with like FFG games, right? Like a lot of people who play one game play another game, etc., etc. Maybe not everyone on this cast, but like there is a large crossover if you've been to game stores, you know. So, I'm excited.
That could be viewed as both a positive and a negative thing. I know there are people who are not chomping at the bit to attend two separate events in Roseville who do play both games, but at the same time,
but Star Wars Worlds has been moved for 2 years now, right?
Yeah, like I said, there's a positive to it. Like people who want to go and experience both in their totality will be able to do so. It's just
I will say that I think it's best because it was May and November before, and a lot of like people who I know crossed over were getting worried because it was going to be October and then November. And if you live on like one of the coasts outside of the Midwest, like traveling to Minnesota twice in 2 months is just it doesn't logically make sense for a lot of people with like their job or their family or whatever. But I mean, October and February are two different things. You know that might work better or what have you. Now, I did not watch the stream. I still watched the stream. It is clarified that this world is not invite only, even though it's in 2020, right?
That's correct.
Right.
Okay. Just making sure, because they did say like Worlds in 2020 was going to be invite only.
This is still 2019 Worlds. It's happening in 2020.
Exactly.
I actually wanted to bring that up though. So if you compare it, if you mirror it to like what L5R's invite system is, you still, if everyone shows up to Worlds, probably everybody gets into Worlds if they do the same thing that they're doing with L5R, right?
I don't know.
Which is what? Can you explain what they're doing with L5R? Because I don't know.
They said that the last chance qualifier was like top 64 get in.
Oh, okay.
So basically, yeah, that's what I was saying. I think this invite system like is going to be really, really lenient. I know when it first was announced, like people were kind of worrying about that whole like, oh, well, I might have to go to Worlds and just hang out. But like, it seems like a really, really reasonable number of people will get it.
Can you imagine being one of the 20 or 30 people who didn't get into the last chance qualifier if the top 64 qualify? I think that's a really stupid system and they should change it. But at least more people than we were expecting will get in. Although, let's focus on... Let's focus on this Worlds because that's, frankly, we don't really know when or if we're getting another one. But there were a lot of positive takeaways, at least from my perspective, on the announcement.
I agree. I'm excited about it. I'm very lucky that I live like 2 hours away from it, so like I can have people over before it or after it or whatever. But like,
people have been clamoring for Thrones being on a proper weekend for years now, and it's finally happening.
Correct. So I am excited for all those 1.0 players to either come back and play in Worlds because either it wasn't on a weekend or they were just making shit up all along, and then to tell them to shut up. I am excited for that because it is literally Friday. You do not have to even play on Friday. You can play on Saturday, right? Joust Day 2 is on Saturday.
Yeah, why don't we walk through sort of the announcement a little bit? There were a lot of aspects, but one of them was that it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event with flights for Joust on Friday and Saturday. I believe. And there are Melee flights both of those days as well, with the cuts for both events being on Sunday.
Which is unfortunate because you make the cut for one, you can't play in the other. But
maybe they stagger the start times. So the people maybe they stagger the start times. So if you get bounced in the top 32 or whatever they do of Joust, you still have time to play in the Melee cut. I'm not really sure. They didn't. That wasn't.
Stagger start time.
Yeah,
they did. They did? Okay, I missed that announcement. That's good to hear.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. And another big announcement was regarding prizing. It seems like they are going to be doing away with the prize wall that they've done for the last few years. Much to some people's chagrin, Jesse's happy about it. Are you happy about that, Jesse?
The 30 people who care about Melee will actually play it. We won't get 60 randoms who try to fix fucking games.
Well, sure. But I think...
Hang on. We'll still get degenerates like you who just want to break the format. But we won't get the people who are just there for... if there's no prize wall, if there's no prize tickets, then no longer will I ever have to sit down at a Melee table and people be like, oh, I'll let you win if you give me this X prize tickets or what. Sure. I hate that. That's such a bad thing for the game.
I wouldn't say I necessarily am guaranteed to play. It will largely depend on what the prize support is for the side events, and I think Melee is being considered a side event.
Probably happiness and joy. Probably.
Yeah, nobody gets happiness and joy out of Melee.
When you put ostensibly a $300 purse on a Melee game, you're gonna get degens and people trying to people trying to.
I thought it was exciting that 90 people played last year, but I will say that the prize wall, it only affected 25% of the final table at Worlds, which is good for the most part. But it affected a lot of the play-in games, in my opinion. Not so many mine, but I did hear horror stories.
I think you call that king making, right?
Correct. And everyone thinks that that's exactly how Melee has to be, and that's the only way to do it. Yeah. And that's not
my semifinal. My semifinal was not made for prize wall reasons, but it was king made. Nico had to basically choose whether or not to let Sandy or me win, and Sandy basically slept through the whole game playing builders, and Nico admitted he didn't like the style of deck I was playing, but thought that I played a better game than Sandy, so he king-made me. But that's just kind of... King-making is, I think, sort of inherently part of Melee, in that a lot of times when people play well, games are close, it comes down to one person basically deciding whether or not to make a challenge against one person or the other, and that sometimes decides victory. So
I will say that it is, and if it comes down to one challenge and not down to prize tickets, then like that's fair. I hate king making from the beginning, where we've all sat in Melee tables, well besides Alejandro probably, but we've all sat in Melee tables where like from the beginning people are like, oh, you can attack me for this or what, whatever. And it's like, that's not how this game is fucking made. Like that's awful. That's terrible. Like just play the fucking game. It's that easy.
Let's not debate Melee and move forward.
Indeed, I agree. So perhaps the prize wall news is good. It makes some people who try to collect all the prizes that FFG gives out a little upset, namely CT, as it's going to probably if they do have individually like faction specific prizes for this event, like they have done for the last few years. It's going to make those prizes really sought after and hard to come by. But other than that, it seems like probably a good idea.
It is also cool that we're getting draft pods again. We didn't get draft pods at Worlds last year.
Yeah, there are apparently at least three side events. There's going to be Melee, Kingsmoot, and Draft.
Yes,
so.
That's awesome.
I really hope we get new draft
can we?
But I won't hold my breath.
Can we really just take a really quick step back and just say that, like, how cool is it that a fan of the game, a friend of mine, Ryan Ritter, infiltrated the company, has now made our prize support insane, made up a version of the game, and it's now getting official support. Like, hats off to him. Like, that is fucking sweet. Like, isn't it? Like, as a nerd who plays the game, like, I think that's cool that Kingsmoot is getting, like, official world support.
No, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
That's not a thing.
I didn't have the opportunity to play the format last year, but I think it's really cool that Ritter's doing, or has achieved.
I played it casually with friends. I did not get a chance to play last year because we were both playing Melee, but I think it's hats off to Ritter. Like, I think that's awesome.
It's way cooler when you put power on Melee titles.
I think it's I agree, but I think it's cool.
So I think actually with just on the topic of like prize support, I think that he's just done like an insane job. I think everyone can see like the work that he's putting in. I mean, the last few kits has just been nuts. So
for sure. And while we're on sort of the compliment train, I would just like to compliment FFG and specifically Holland for coming out and doing this kind of thing, which it seems like it's a departure from the way they've handled things in the past. And if this is how they intend on doing things going forward for as long as we have a game, I think we all should be grateful for it. So
super agree. After the whole Kim versus Holland thing went down, during that I messaged Holland and was like, whoa, like this is not cool from either direction. Like this, like we just want news about the game that we love, and like the snarky response is not professional or okay. Like either direction is bad. Like this isn't okay. And Holland like sincerely apologized to me, said he didn't mean to come off that way, and ever since then, everything he's done has been like open with information as much as he can and like moving forward. And, like, I have been very appreciative because I was like, well, if you don't care about the game, like, you don't have to be a dick about it. But he has been just unbelievable since then. Like, the open Q&A about Worlds today, just the information he's given, the apology.
Just the fact that, like, his presence on Facebook and social media is existent at all, I think, really is a big... difference as well.
Outside of that snarky response, everything has been unbelievable.
Yeah, mistakes. He made mistakes.
It was fine.
Agreed. And I'm sure, like,
way harder on him than he is on us.
For sure.
Agreed.
It was
super
one
great.
comment
He
versus
explained.
dozens.
He explained that to me. He was, and like I went back and looked, and it was all true. Like, I love Andrew and Edward, but they had been railing him about fucking regionals announcements, and like, more power to him.
I'm surprised they bitched today about the fact that we got Worlds announcements, but we still didn't get regionals announcements.
Yeah, well, it was specific.
But he did tell us we would not get them until the end of June. He told us that. He gave us info, which was
exciting. It doesn't
exciting.
matter when you run on pure unbridled hate, though. Like, you still have to. Just
I don't know, man. I like Holland. I dig him. I thought he's at least trying as much as he possibly can to give us any information he can. So it's better than what we've had. Right?
As testing the waters, right? Like, he had to see how we work before he could be like, well, I better not say anything to piss off these Thrones people because they're ravenous fucking animals.
These last 9 motherfuckers left are just angry. They just want to know
All
shit.
Right, look, this is not Rune Wars, dude. Come on, give us a little credit. Was there anything else? Was there anything else with the announcement that we haven't discussed? I can't think of anything specific.
I don't have anything else except that I find it more positive than negative.
I think it seems fine. I think we was talked about before, but the weekend thing I think is just huge. I mean, even if it's February, like a lot of people in my group just like wouldn't consider something like a Thursday, Wednesday. But like those dates are probably gonna get like our whole group going, and I think a lot of people are like that too. So
I've heard the same thing. I know it's anecdotal, but I've heard the same.
That's lit.
From a handful of people as well. So.
Yeah, the weekend slot is so great.
And the last non-invite one, I feel like, is going to give everybody that whole "this is the one to go to" mentality. So hopefully we get like the biggest turnout we've had in a while.
I think a lot of the people on the fence will actually go. Like, I legitimately believe we will get Kid there, which is a big deal for me. Because outside of Jesse's name day, he does not play the game, which is exciting. We might even get like old schoolers like Chad to go. I know like Struhall is interested. Like Struhall's going to Gen Con this year. I know DC's going to Gen Con this year. I know they're probably going to go to Worlds, which is good for the game, right? Like that's like
Not to mention the people who live on the coasts and will be flying will likely be paying cheaper airfare during February to go to Minnesota.
It's right. We looked it up and it's like dirt cheap right now.
Yeah, it's $200 for me to go round trip, basically $220. So,
sick
from Seattle.
Oh. Yeah, and like yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited. So, if no one else has anything, we're going to move on from the World's announcement. We're going to move on to the meat of the episode. This Midwest 64-person tournament, the Disaster at Crasters 3, Jerry Crane's stomping grounds. That's the name we have for it. It's cool. So
the original title was planned to be changed to Jerry Stomps Ass 2019, but
yep. I lost 2 whole games last year. Both of them were to Jerry Crane. So no, it's exciting. It's a cool format. It's almost like a personal war style thing. I'm going to have CT explain the format to you before we get into the pod release. I think most of the people listening are in the pods, but just for those who are not or who are listening on audio afterwards, it's a cool format. So CT, without further ado, tell us about Disaster at Crasters, buddy.
All right. So we have 64 registrants. We have 8 people on each house, perfectly evened out. The tournament will be essentially ran in a pod system where there will be 8 pods of 8 players, and everyone in the tournament.
To get to the 64, it took no extra effort. Just randomly 64 people signed up.
Oh, absolutely. It definitely not just like...
There were not like dying texts from CT the last 2 weeks to Groff and I. Just being like, find fucking people! Do it! Do whatever it takes! Do whatever it takes!
I'd like to imagine that there are at least like 6 people going to this tournament under threat of harm.
Yeah, me. I'm one of them. Sure. I mean,
he'll finish explaining, but if people who were maybe coerced or anything else into going, like, I don't know anything else to say, but it's a CT Midwest tournament. You'll walk away with a bag full of swag, and it's at a brewery. And Sandy and I will be there. I don't know what else to say to you.
Yeah. What do you want? Be grateful.
It'll be amazing. So, I'm sorry to interrupt. Finish explaining the format, brother.
So, there's 8 pods. There's going to be 8 people in each pod. Everyone is on a different house. So, everyone is going to get to play 7 games of round-robin thrones, knowing exactly who they're playing against and exactly which house they're playing against. Those people will not play a mirror match, and they will not play their opponent's house more than once until they get to the cut. After those 7 rounds, the top 2 finishers in each of their respective geographic pods, which we'll go through when we start naming them off, those 2 people will make the top 16. The graphic will kind of show you where you end up based on your final spot in the pod, which I'll be posting in the Facebook group after the cast is over.
Essentially, if you were second place in your pod in the first round of the cut, you will not have to play the first place in your pod again.
No,
correct?
You will be moved to the other side of the bracket to create the top 16.
Which is cool. Maybe someone got fucked by that last year. Not a big deal. But
last year we had fucked up numbers, though.
We did. It was random, but it was still a great event.
That's why getting here means so much to me, because it's this has been 3 years in the making, getting this to finally work. The right amount of people, the right setup.
I remember driving to a tournament with you 2 years ago when 30 people to a fan run tournament was the fucking stone cold nuts, right? And we talked about this format specifically. It was oh, this would be fucking insane, right? This would be so cool. But 64 would be the perfect number. And then we got 70 to Jesse's name day. And then you and I were both oh, it's possible. We could do it. We could figure it out. And we got 40 last year? 41?
Last year we were 45. 45.
Okay. All right. So we got close last year. And then obviously I coerced 120 people to come to Wausau this year.
We switched tactics. We went to harming people.
Yeah,
it works.
We had to get physical.
Dude, it turns out that shit works, man.
It works.
It's a tried and true method.
The mafia's been using it forever, so
yeah. I mean, people...
CT, the true black hand of the community.
Yeah.
But no, then this year we I remember when we announced this S01E10 3 in the indie chat, we were oh man, if we get to 40 people, we'll be ecstatic. We'll be ecstatic. And then CT's 64 is a dream. And that's what we all want. And then we got to 30 and we were let's start railing on people. Oh, let's get them. Let's get them.
I felt it. I felt that right away.
We want it, right? Because these fan run events are just so fun. And it's a unique format. It's cool. And it's perfect with 64. It just makes sense. And then we got to 45, and then we got to 15. We were oh fuck, 64 is 15 away. And CT's wake the fuck up and do your job. Get people to this tournament. It's not that hard. So we did. And hats off to Mr. Chris Thompson. He got 64 people. And it's I'm ecstatic. I'm unbelievably ecstatic. It's cool.
So real quick before CT finishes, quick question. So there was a post made about you guys getting tattoos if you hit a certain number of people. What was that number?
Number was 75.
Oh come on!
Oh, that's bullshit. It was.
Oh no way!
That number was
aim for
that number was
75. 75 is such a bullshit number.
He's a liar.
Yeah,
There's no Facebook proof. No one's looking back. CT and I are getting Craster skulls. Look at me.
On your cheeks.
Tattooed on our bodies.
On your ass cheeks, dude.
Not on our face. We're human beings.
On your ass cheek.
No.
If you want to rail on some people who caused us to not hit 75, message the Humberts or Tom McKenzie.
The number was 60.
I am super down to get the Crasters tattooed on me. The perfect weekend is Lord of the Crossing by Mr. Lamb's ex-wife.
Oh, all right.
Get me fucked up enough.
Right, maybe not on the ass cheek then.
No, you can't be intoxicated. It's got to be an honest, true decision. No, I'm super down. I don't care. I am so proud to even be in somewhat of the planning stages of this tournament. Like, I am just super proud of CT as an organizer. Like, this is just like what he's dreamed for. It's a unique format, and getting 64 people to Indianapolis a month before Gen Con, where they have to go back, and like that is cool. There are 2 cars going from Wausau where these idiots don't leave their house, let alone drive 7 hours. So I am.
Speaking of idiots, why don't we show off some idiots, some names?
Yep, let's go.
Or, CT, have you finished explaining the rules, CT?
He did.
Yeah, more or less. Like, people will get it when they see the pods, I think. So,
all right, Drum, fucking hit that shit.
Which pod are we doing first?
I don't know. Pod number 1.
Castle Rock.
Oh, don't make it hard for poor Buzz.
Wait,
whichever
hold
one
on.
Buzz has loaded up first. Okay. All right, left down. So our first. Tell me when it's up. I'm not looking at the stream.
It'll be up. Just go.
Our first geographical location is going to be the Queen's Crown bracket.
Let me look up this one.
All of the people listed, it's always going to be by Stark, Lannister, Baratheon, Targaryen, Greyjoy, Martell, Tyrell, Watch, in that order. I marked everybody's name next to their house, so it's pretty easy.
Which I need to bring up to people the name of this sheet on my Google Sheets. I was so I made this sheet the other night and was like, oh, hey, I'm trying to share with Alejandro, but I am a fucking idiot. And I thought I shared it with him, but I just named the sheet after his email. I was like, I don't know why you're not seeing it. I'm reading Gear Pantoya at Gmail. And he's like, I'm not getting it, man. And I was like, you're a fucking idiot. And then I did not share it. I think I was actually sober on Tuesday. I was for sure sober.
All right, we ready to
let's talk about this pod. What's up?
All right, so our first player in the Queen's Crown bracket is Queen's Crown first. Yes, Anil Seetharam, who is an indie local. Rumor has it he's like one of the best L5R players in the world.
He's the only sponsored LCG player of all time.
Wait, what?
That's sweet.
What?
He's sponsored.
Rip everybody else, dude.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not in that.
How'd you get sponsored in LCGs? What?
We don't fucking know.
Red Bull sponsorship?
Who's his sponsor?
It's the token place. They like pay for his flights and stuff.
What the fuck?
I'm not kidding. Have
That's
you
awesome.
wondered why this random guy from India is like going to like the Paris Cotes and then Seattle the next week? I'm like,
No, I haven't wondered that at all. I had no idea this was happening.
Yep,
I have.
Also, Anil hit me up for like 6 decks today and was like, "We're grinding, boys." Hit me up.
Wow.
Anil messages
That's
me like
exciting.
6 times a day. Like, what do I do in this situation? What do you think about this card in this deck? Show me some meta decks. What does this match up? Send me videos. Like,
He is asking very, very interesting questions that, like, as a player who's played the game for 2.5 years, I don't ask unless Alejandro's yelling at me.
All right, dude. Anil sounds lit, but we have 63
Anil
other
is
people
out.
to get through.
Yeah. Well, Neil's out.
I'm super happy that Neil's like Anil is super enthusiastic about like getting into Thrones, and I'm super glad. He actually, this isn't his first tournament. He played in Kyburns with a team where he actually only lost 1 game to Sandy.
He played Greyjoy Boats.
Yeah, but his team didn't make the cut. But like he himself did really well. So I'm super excited to see how well he does in Thrones.
Yep.
But his pod isn't going to be a walk in the park. The Lannister player in the Queen's Crown pod is Mr. Sean Bohan.
Love of my life.
The Klansman master himself?
Yep.
Sorry,
Clans
Jess.
master himself.
Oh, he's better than me.
The Baratheon player is a relatively unknown guy named Jim Hansen.
What a scrub.
He's not even the best. He's not even the best gym in my house. My roommate crushed him. Jim Hansen is awful.
Just
Our-
a Browning.
Our Targaryen player in the Queen's Crown bracket is Mr. Tyler Schlotman from Missouri.
Welcome him to the Midwest tournaments. It's his first one outside of Missouri, right?
Yeah, so
it's
he's
his first-
He's a fairly new player. Met him down at First Player Memorial Weekend, and he plays a lot of board games, a lot of card games, Magic mostly. So he's learning quickly. He played Martel Wolf, so
Good for him. That's exciting.
He does play, try to play competitive decks. So
He's
it's gonna
very
be tough.
enthusiastic from talking to him.
It's gonna be a tough bracket right there with these new players, even too.
Our Greyjoy player is going to be Brian Blears, Windy City runner-up.
Yep, he's always like a solid, like old 1.0 player. He loves Greyjoy. I don't think he gets the chance to play as much as he wants, but like, if anyone's ever played against Brian, like Brian knows what he's doing. He's played the game for a lot of years. He's super solid, and he's good with Greyjoy. And who guessed it? Greyjoy's pretty fucking good right now.
Yep. Our Martell player is Emmy Lise Cho, who is actually a brand new player. This will be her first tournament. Her and her boyfriend Connor are Magic players. Who
brand new player playing Martell. God damn, I love her.
Not to love.
I fucking love her. I hope I know what her restricted card is. That's all I'm saying. It's only one choice of Martell. He's 7 cost.
I believe, but I'm super excited that her and Connor will be joining for their first big indie event. Tyrell player is going to be Aaron Jazwiak, or as we affectionately refer to him around here in Indy, Vort, who is coming back from kind of a hiatus. Also an L5R player. But he's a good dude. He's definitely concerned about how rusty he'll be, and he's not in an easy pod. He's definitely not in an easy pod, so we will see how he does. And then our Night's Watch player is good old Daryl Builders Weber.
Piece of shit. Huge piece of shit. I guarantee you he plays the worst wall. He's a garbage person. He's my best friend in my whole life. I love him with all my heart. Piece of shit.
It's a good wall, though. I think it's a very good wall.
Get out of here. You're going to play the right wall, Mike. We're going to play the cool wall, and we're going to be stuck with it.
Hey, you only have to play Greyjoy once in the Swiss, so maybe playing Big Wall is not terrible.
Fuck, we can play Night Flyer of our own. Lamsick, get real lit with it, boys.
Well.
But honestly, Daryl is... I wish I wouldn't have shown him the game. I don't like losing to him. I'm just kidding. I love him. He's my best friend. This pod is going to be very tough. Neil is one of the best card players I've ever seen. He is playing the best faction in the game, in my opinion. And he is grinding. I know that. Bohan with Klansman. Free Me Roar just got released, boys. Papa's out. Daddy's home. Bohan's going to be good. Jim Hansen is...
Are we doing predictions, or is everybody picking their choice?
We can.
First, is there any particular matchups in this pod that you're like super excited to see?
Yes, Jim Hansen with Barrett and Bohan with Klansman. They're going to both play from their hand a lot. I think Hansen is probably going to play Rush, which is maybe he won't. Maybe he'll surprise us because he's been playing more kill stuff lately. But I'm excited for that matchup: kill versus Rush. Good player versus good player. That is the matchup I'm most excited for. I hope we record that game.
Is there going to be a recording?
And to stream, we'll see how it goes. It is a bar, and it's going to be a very busy bar that day. But
if I had to put a prediction on the pod, I am going to say Mr. Daryl Weber, Mr. Sean Bohan.
Fuck.
Ooh. Ooh.
Builder's got to build, dog.
You don't have to change.
Oh, yeah.
We have to do a lot of these.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
gonna be overlap.
All right, let's go. Let's do this. We got a lot to get through.
Go then.
All right, I'm picking Daryl and Jim, my homies. How can I
Hell
not?
yeah. 2 for 2.
Yeah.
All right, Alejandro, get it, boy.
I'm gonna go. I can't forget about the fact that you said this guy's sponsored. Like, what the hell is going on there? I'm gonna pick a deal, and
Wild card.
I'm gonna pick Jim, just because Daryl didn't show up today.
Rip Daryl.
Yeah, Daryl's only missed 1 episode. He'll be back next time, though.
Right.
For those of you who do not know, Daryl was the first member of the cast outside of me. He was on the first episode and has never come back.
And he always says every single time we're planning.
Every
these things,
week
he's like,
in the chat.
I'm in.
Every week in the chat, he's like, I'm in for next episode, boys.
And we always fall for it.
The day of doesn't say a fucking word.
Yeah, it's
like, it just disappears. All right, Lambzik, who you got, buddy?
Oh man, so here's the thing. I know like 3 people in this pod. You know what? I think I have to by default root for Daryl here.
Yeah. Scumbag. Got a scumbag.
Yeah, then I think it's a toss up between Sean or Jim. And I think I'm gonna go Jim because I'm sure I think Jim will probably come up with something pretty creative out of Barra. So I'm looking forward to see what he's gonna do there.
But Zora High Reborn on Core Bob is good? No way.
Jim will get no points for creativity the first time he sets Lord of the Crossing down on the table that day. I tell you that. No bonus points.
He's obsessed with that.
Although Hanson, after he played Shadows at My Name Day, Tarot Line, which was a very good deck, he did tell me, I'm scared I'm becoming a one-trick pony with Crossing.
Well, he rolled me with Night's Watch Crossing at Nats. So.
Oh, I'll tell you, Tarl had a few things to say about that. No, it was a really good game. All right, Groth, who you got, buddy?
Well, I'm excited to see Emmy Cho roll people with the 7-cost Viper. Get that out.
Oh, God.
I
My
can't
heart
wait.
is so full. I think I said that in the chat today. Back when the game was pure, hyper vibe. Alejandro closing up. The California borders are just ready to close.
Right.
Get out of here.
That's not
Accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Where's that
Neil.
wall?
Yeah, where's that wall? We'll go with Neil and Jim Hansen. That'll be mine.
All right.
Here's a sleeper in this pod, though, for sure. Bleers, I think.
Yeah, like nobody's giving Bleers club. I'm gonna pick Bleers because the boy knows his squids, and I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna assume that Jim and Sean just like it's like the classic battle of the Titans, and they just both kill each other.
Take each other.
So-
Wow.
So Bleers pulls it out, and Anil makes his rise to throne.
The deep part of Bleers is his one testing partner is Jerry Crane, who's won this back-to-back years. Anyone who knows Jerry's playing insane creative decks. Jerry is also signed up for Greyjoy, which means that Bleers will be on an interesting deck that people will not know how to play against. That's what gets Jerry every time. Not only his insane playing skill, he plays a deck that's just fucking nuts.
It's called.
The thing I love
Greyjoy
about Jerry is
with
like,
Warhammer.
when I talked to Jerry about like what house he was gonna play, he was just like, "Well, I can't play Targ and I can't play Stark," and I'm like, "Why?" And he was just like, "I've already won this event with those houses."
He's
Like,
trying to. He's trying to
go around the
green-
world.
He's trying to green Ronin fucking Crasters. Like I know I'm gonna beat these people. I just can't win with the same faction. Like, so that's exciting. All right.
Probably Bleers and Jerry will be rocking the same very good deck, whatever it ends up being.
And it'll be interesting and creative as fuck.
Speaking of Jerry, maybe he's in the next pod. I don't know. What is it? Who's in the next pod? What's the next pod
The next
called?
pod, the Pike pod. Our Stark player is going to be Rick Spervero from Pennsylvania.
He's
Super
from, like,
nice guy.
Pittsburgh area, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
The Lannister player is Clint Gossmeyer.
I don't know him.
He is.
I saw his. I creeped on his Facebook, looking at people. He's a PE teacher. I know that.
He's
He's a teacher. You
awesome
fit right
guy.
in.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're either a software developer or a teacher. That's 90% of the fucking throne.
Clint, I think Clint sent me a message earlier today about he's bringing some of his own prize support for the tournament too, which is incredible for a new player to be contributing that much already. So
That's awesome.
Welcome to the community, baby. We all sluts for Altards. Bring it on.
yeah. Barra player, the current champion of the Midwest, Alex Tonak.
He did lose one game at the Midwest Championship.
I knew that fucking was coming.
He was
There it
bound
is.
for the wall. He was bound for the wall.
There it is.
No, Tonak's a really good player. Canadian Nationals runner-up at one point. Midwest champion. Super solid. You don't know Big Buck Seth? Buzz?
Big
God
Buck
damn.
Seth,
You don't know anyone.
good old Seth Maurer is going to be playing Targaryen. So that's interesting because like Seth and Alex were my brothers on Target your birthday this year, and now they're gonna have to duke it out.
Yep.
Then we got Andrew Christian, indie local. He'll be our Greyjoy player in this pod. Andrew did super well at Crasters last year with Greyjoy. He won his pod last year, I'm pretty sure.
Also, Andrew is always lit as fuck on the Game of Thrones group. Anytime anyone says the game is dead, he's always like, "Get the fuck out of here, idiot!" Like, I love him, dude. He's always positive as fuck and just like, "I love this game. Fuck you." Like, I love him. Andrew's a good dude.
Good dude. He is a good dude. Our Martell player, fucking the Scumbo King himself, Jake Platt.
Oh, heart and soul. I love
What
him.
flavor of Lancer will Jake Platt bring to the table at Crasters?
He's gonna get people.
Jake Laird is going to be our Tyrell player.
Chicago dude, super
Chicago
nice.
guy, super great guy. I love
Well,
him.
actually, he lives in Indiana,
True. That's true.
but he is part of the Chicago crew. Laird is one of my favorite people to play board games with. I love playing him in Thrones. He's always a positive dude. Just plays really fun decks. Just a really good guy.
He's one of the guys you could probably bet on will be at least mostly drunk by round 3. We hope.
If he's hanging out with me, he is. We usually hang out.
And last but not least for this pod, our Night's Watch player, good old Brad Iyer. Haven't seen Brad Iyer in a while.
Good old world's runner-up, Brad Iyer.
Wait, what?
Wait, I'm thinking of a different Brad.
What?
Wrong
Brad
Eamon.
Brad Eamon is not
They
coming to
both
this
are
tournament.
Brad with the last name E. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to both
Super
Brads.
Although if Brad
sorry
Eamon
to
was
both.
coming, he'd be playing Big Wall with Papa.
See, it just seemed to fit. My bad. My apologies to
So,
both
all right.
of
All
you
right.
Brads.
I'll take picks first.
Pod.
I'm taking Brad Iyer because I have a good idea what he's playing. And I'm taking Mr. Jake Platts because I know what he's playing as well. And that's my opinion. I don't know what anyone else is playing. I know what they're playing.
Jesse Carpenter, is there anybody who's coming to the 64-person tournament that you don't know what they're playing?
Yep. I did. Yep. Groff before the call on Tuesday.
Save that.
All right. Yeah, I'll say that later. Yeah, Aaron Groff. I don't know what he's playing. He's a scumbag.
All right. Who's next for predictions? I'll go. I'll take shit. I'm taking Alex Tonak because he's got the best name, and I'll take Platt because he's got the best deck. So there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Alex trio here too.
Yeah.
And I'll take Seth Maurer as my second pick.
Big Buck Seth.
Since I'm running the tournament, I'm going to predict that all 7 people are allowed to move on except for Jake Platt.
Hell yeah.
Actually, I'm going to go with Rick. Stark's pretty good right now. Rick is a super solid player. Like he doesn't get out to events very often, it seems like, but when he does, he is a super solid player. I played him once at a regional last year. I played him in the final. He was an excellent player. And Stark's really good, so I could see him doing really well in this pod. For my other pick, man, it's pretty rough. Tonak's my boy, but I think Brad Iyer is pretty hungry. He has not played an event in a while, and I think he's pretty excited to beat some ass. With your own characters, nonetheless.
Oh God, my heart is so full.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna have to go with Jake Platt. I'm so thankful that I don't see my name like anywhere near his over here, because it's probably just gonna be making everyone miserable. But I'll probably have to go with him, and I think I'm gonna go with Rick too, because I think just Stark is really good and they're a really good place. So
Sure.
I think he could probably get there with it.
When I messaged Rick about the tournament, he was just like, "Bro, is Stark still open?" And I was just like, I think so." There was like 2 Stark spots left. He was so excited. So I know he knows what he wants to play. That's for sure. He knew right out the gate.
And Stark's good, so I'm surprised that it didn't fill up like automatically.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting story in itself.
Some of us aren't cowards.
I mean, like, I'll never play Stark.
A lot of
But
people who were most excited about the tournament right away that needed less coercion were excited to try out new cards and weirder decks.
There was a really dark period of time for a week and a half where I got moved to somewhere else other than Night's Watch to be a good person. It was the worst I've ever felt about the game, honestly. I felt dark.
This tournament restored my faith in the game because we didn't get we had one Greyjoy sign up in the first week, and then we didn't get another one for like a month.
God, I love this group. Midwest is lit as fuck, boys. Greyjoy outside of Drown God is fucking dog shit.
All right, we'll go into the Casterly Rock bracket next.
I'll go and pick.
Oh, fuck.
Easily.
I guess you matter.
Wow.
Hey,
You guys done with your love session? Here we go. All right, Alex Tonak and Andrew Christian, because Greyjoy Cross is still good. There we go. Move on.
Tonak's gonna bust my balls because I'm the only one who didn't pick him, but
I didn't pick him.
all right, Casterly Rock bracket. Here we go. The start player is going to be Connor Clark, previously mentioned new indie player, comes from Magic, very competitive. This will be his first kind of big Thrones tournament, so hopefully he picks it up. He's very enthusiastic. He's got a really good mind for card games, so I think he'll do pretty well. He will, however, not have an easy first tournament. The Lannister player in his pod is Mr. Sam Bratz.
Huh, wonder who I'll pick.
Sam Bratz finally crawls out of the cold, dead north to come to an indie event for the first time. Pretty stoked to see all the, I'm super stoked all the Wausau guys are coming. Well, most of the Wausau guys are coming out. So our Baratheon player is going to be Mr. Jacob Jones.
Woo.
Jake from State Farm, however you want to refer to him. Recently got back into the game, having some fun with Barra, waving at us in the chat. Good dude. Targaryen's going to be Patrick Ballou, who's another indie local. We'll be lucky if he finishes the tournament, because he'll probably start drinking at noon. Matt Schober is going to be on Greyjoy, who is another returning indie local we haven't seen in a while.
He's not a returning indie local.
Schober?
No, Matt Schober is from Massachusetts. He's going to Chicago for college. He won a store championship and start crossing this year. We talk about decks a lot.
Yeah, he came to a Jersey store championship actually. And,
him and his dad both play. They're the
Mhm.
fucking nut, dude. I think you're misremembering someone, maybe.
I must be.
Schober is the fucking nut. We disagree on everything about this game, but I love him.
My bad.
His favorite deck is Start Crossing, so we're super good friends. But yeah. No, he's talented. He picked up the game super quickly. He saw results super quickly. He made top 8 at Windy City this year. He won a store championship this year. I mean, he had to go through me, AJ, Clemens for it. He's got game. Him and his dad both do. He made the final table the week after at a store championship in Jersey, with Tyrell Lyon. Like literally, Jim Hansen sent him his Tyrell Lyon deck like the night before, and he picked it up and made the final table with it.
Yep.
Damn.
He's got-
Yeah, that could
he
be
has-
really good that day.
Yeah, he has game. Mike's a super solid dude. He's like he's a trombonist, maybe. I don't know. Like he's going to school for music, so he plays in like Chicago orchestra stuff. But he's like a super good dude and like very talented, very interesting guy. So if you meet him, talk him up, buy him a beer. He's a good dude.
Speaking of AJ Val, he'll be playing Martell in this pod.
He's definitely not good enough.
So yeah, AJ, we know him. He's pretty good. Speaking of Matt Clemens, he'll be playing Night's Watch in this pod.
Boo. Boo that
Fuck
man.
you. Fuck you.
Boo that man. And last
Boo
but
that
not
man.
least, rounding out this very eclectic pod is Sandy Barnabas on Tyrone.
Woo.
So this is going to be alcohol to blood density by 2:00. By far the heaviest pot.
Yep. Him and Patrick Blue will be drunk, buddy.
If Sandy
You
and
had some
Patrick
insane pods already.
and Bratz aren't just
Yeah,
complete-
I agree.
There's a lot of good players at this tournament.
Yeah, dude, the Midwest is lit as fuck. I can't oppose. My pick for this tournament is my boy, fellow Lance, Mr. Matt Clemens, playing Big Wall versus my liege, Mr. Sam Bratz. Those are my picks. It's gonna be a tough pod though.
Who got you
Matt-
in this game, Jesse?
Who did?
Who helped you in this community? I think CT's your liege.
Alright.
I think CT's your liege.
He's my
Betrayed
sire. He's my sire.
us.
He made me. He's not my liege anymore.
Between me and Sam Bratz, he's only abandoned one of us. So
No, my picture.
only one of us opened his home to it lovingly, Jesse.
Alice Black
Abandoned-
is laughing nervously. No, my picks are Sam with Klansman and Clemens with Big Wall, only because they fit the love of my life. But Sandy with Combo is scary. AJ with Martell is always terrifying when he puts orange cards down. And Matt Schober is just a really good player. Jake Jones, he is a good player. He is a very good player. Bear is very good right now, in my opinion. And Connor, I've never met this guy. I'm excited to. But CT tells me he's got game.
You're like, oh, yeah.
Patrick Blue will be drunk by the third round. He will lose a lot of games.
Oh man. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with. So like Connor, I feel like Connor and Matt are kind of maybe they don't have the sterling reputation that a lot of the people in this pod have, but they're on the two best houses, right? So that
Yeah, and they're good
it makes
card
the pod
players.
way more interesting.
Yes. This is in my opinion, this is a stacked pod.
Yeah, this
And
is really
Jake's got
stacked.
some spice. He definitely has some spice for the meta. So like
I have played Jake
for the
Jones
tournament.
and Patrick, even though they do not play the game very often. They have game, and like Jake is on a good house. Like
I can't wait to watch like Jake and Patrick. I can't wait to watch like that matchup if I can. Like that's going to be an incredible matchup to watch.
There's no better matchup than Sandy and Bratz in this pod.
And Bratz is going to be absolutely like
The
that's just-
amount of alcohol like consumed in this match alone will just make me very happy. The only good thing going for that matchup is that there will not be liquor served at this bar because it's a brewery.
we can do beer shots. It could be beer shots for
Oh, they'll do it. Don't worry. They'll do it. But AJ with orange cards, man, scares me. I didn't pick him, but it's only because I have allegiance to Bratz and Clemens.
I'll probably go with AJ and Sam myself. I think Clemens and Sandy will be too drunk.
Yeah, that might be right. I've never seen Matt drink a lot. Schober might pull it out. He's got some game.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Alejandro, who do you think?
I will take Sandy on
Combo.
deck.
Did we lose Alejandro?
Yeah, I think we did.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
All right. So
Can
we
you
lost
hear?
you.
You just cut out.
We
You
heard-
just cut out. We heard
We
Sandy.
heard
and that's it.
Sandy and who else?
Oh, Sandy and AJ.
Okay.
Two good players on their salad deck. So those are mine.
Mr. Alex Black. Who do you have?
Do we think Sam's gonna be prepared for this tournament, or is he just kind of flying by the seat of his pants?
If you think we play Thrones and Wassa, you are seriously wrong. Sam will play Klansman, and I heard he read what Lionstar did, so he's probably ahead of the field 99%.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take. AJ, and I want to take Sandy, but I think he'll be too fucked up to play the deck right. So I'll take Sam.
Shit, I didn't consider that.
Massive props to Jess's predictions of AJ and literally anyone but Clemens.
She's just hedging her bets, Miss Fire.
I will take Schober and AJ.
Chicago Meta boys.
I'll take
All
both.
right, Mr. Lamzik, who you got, baby?
So I know everyone's too afraid to pick Sandy, but I'm gonna have to go with Sandy here.
He's your fellow host. You have
Yeah,
to.
Right to the fucking tournament. Of course you got to pick.
yeah.
Sam.
I mean, I'll be in the car in 12 hours, so I don't pick him. It's gonna be GG for me. But I watched him at trial in North Jersey. Get the second there with combo. I think if he does choose to take that deck, if he stays just sober enough, I think he has a chance. And then I'm gonna have to just go with Matt Clemens. Sandy and Matt.
You are lost to Jess.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
I love you.
Sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
All right. I guess we'll move on to High Garden. Going down south. So in High Garden, we've got our start player, Andrew Kim, one half of the Kimpire, coming out with the Sandy bus to rep the East Coast.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited to see what Andrew does with Stark. I think that both Kim brothers are underrated. Like they don't. I think they focus more on L5R, in which they're both very good at. And Andrew is playing the best house. He knows it a month in advance. He knows his opponents.
Andrew is very adamant about playing Stark, so he knows what he wants to do for sure.
I think Andrew's going to be on a good deck, man. I like Andrew. Andrew's scary to me.
I will say that, I'll preface this pod by saying that this pod, I think, is going to be some of the most outgoing and friendly people. Like, when we finish this pod, you're just going to be like, oh, wow. Like, this pod is so filled with, positive energy as far as, just people who are just super fun to be around at tournaments that I can't wait to see this pod, in action. So we've got Andrew Kim on Stark. We've got Adrienne Payette from Chicago on Lannister, which, I mean, she's got a pretty good proven track record with Lanny.
I'm just saying her birthday was at Medieval Times, and she chose the Yellow King Stannis. Not a big deal, but she's pretty solid.
Our bear player is Joey Smith. Local guy. Indy works at the bar. Super amazing guy. Super helpful at helping me get this all put together. He's a giant teddy bear of a lovely man. And he loves his bear cards. He's been waiting for this box for 3 years to finally play a deck that is his playstyle.
Yep.
Luke Flumier on Targaryen. I don't know Luke super well. He's, I think, fairly newish.
He He has a brother who's also in the tournament, right?
Yes, they're both coming. This will be their first indie tournament, so I'm like super looking forward to meeting them.
Where are they from?
They are from, I want to say,
New Orleans.
Is that right?
No, they have French names, so I assumed.
I think they're from Illinois. I think they're from your neck of the woods.
No, they're not. Am I about to have to switch my vote to just boys who are from southeastern Illinois?
Maybe.
I will. There are two players. There are three players who play the Game of Thrones game in Olney. Me, Terrell, and Big Buck Seth. So they're from southeastern Illinois.
Right.
I don't know where they're from, but that's exciting that like both him and his brother are coming. I saw that in the last names. We talked about that on Tuesday. They're new players coming out to a new tournament. So if you were someone who's coming, because I assume them being new players, they are not listening to this podcast. I hope they are. If you are, hello Luke and hello Ben, right? No?
Yes.
Ben.
Luke, Ben.
But make sure you welcome these guys. Welcoming new players into the community is super, super vitally important right now. So, who do we have next?
Next up is old Pete Knudden playing his favorite house, Greyjoy.
Does that motherfucker play another faction?
Not today. What do we say? What do we say to the god of playing different factions, Jesse?
No.
No.
Big Wall is still the same. Why would we?
Ethan Dasher will be playing Martell.
You motherfuckers are going to get free folked to death. You idiots. You played yourself.
Cool. Everybody in this pod.
Wait. Why are they idiots? Because he's playing Free Folk.
Oh, they're going to get got. Little shout out, Ethan Dasher is one of my best friends. He is amazing. He doesn't play Thrones outside of just like traveling with me. He's a big Magic player, one of the best card players I've ever seen. I'm gonna try to convince him to play the Alliance deck, but I assume he will play Free Folk, and he will get people. Because it is the same thing as Mono Red. He turns cards sideways and fucks people up.
Also, he was.
How awesome would it be if it was a whole pod of just Free Folk? I think we should try to organize this to happen.
Get the fuck out of here!
Terrible. What?
Alex Black comes back for 2 weeks. Wears a Cardinals hat, and then says something about Free Folk. Expects to be part of the group. He's out.
Also, Jesse,
72 people.
Ethan was also like the first one to get on board with the Kill McKenna train.
Oh yeah, super on board. If people don't know about this infamous story, on the second day of Jesse's name day, or on the third day, when 70 people didn't show up, there was the cut. We played with the last remaining 20 people. We played 6 hours of Werewolf. A couple locals showed up.
70 people didn't show up?
I mean, like, it was a joke. Like,
oh, okay.
120 people showed up to the tournament, right? But, like, the remaining Sunday boys, we played Werewolf for 6 hours. Like, we played a lot of Werewolf on Sunday at the bar. Dasher, at one point, Mr. Mike Lamzik, the round before was like, no matter what, kill James McKenna. No matter what. And Dasher was the first one on board. Dasher's the one who told me, kill Mike. Kill James McKenna. Listen to Mike. So it was funny. Dasher's a really, 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 really good dude. I'm excited he's playing in the tournament. He came
out for the MCC, the final, and he was like a blast to hang out with.
The best part of him coming out to that final was he doesn't know the game very well. He walked by a game of mine, and he was like, I didn't know you were playing Greyjoy. Why would you play that? I was playing Big Wall. I had the big boys home. No, Dasher's a really good dude. I'm excited he's coming out to play. So, all right, moving on. Another Wisconsin.
We're getting Megan Martin all the way from Wisconsin, right?
Yep, Megan and Xander. They're a couple from Wisconsin. They travel around the area. They're awesome. They're super legit, just like always in a good mood. Yeah, I love Meg and Xander. They're great. I think
Tyrell.
Yep.
And our Night's Watch player, the newly reformed, hopefully, we all hope on his best behavior, Mr. James Booker, making his return to the first event in quite a long time. So,
and for what we hear, his last event.
Yeah.
Yeah, also true. Yeah.
He says he's hanging. He says he's coming back for this one. He's hanging it up.
Yep.
So the most controversial man that's ever played the game, Mr. James Booker, is coming back playing Big Wall.
Man, I probably could have we probably could have hit 75 players if I'd have told people they could beat up on James Booker one last time if they came to the tournament. I missed that.
The coast would have at least looked at flights. I'll tell you that.
Shit, Alejandro's booking a flight right
now. So what are our matchups here, and what do we think?
All right, my pick is Mr. Ethan Dasher. Gotta be loyal. Sorry. And Booker, Dasher and Booker. I want to pick Joey because he's loved Bear for so long. I want to pick Andrew because Stark is good. I want to pick Adrian. She's played Lannister for so long. But whether people love him or hate him, Booker's one of the best card players I've ever seen. And I think Night's Watch is really good right now. Super underrated. So I'm picking Dasher and Booker. Dasher only out of loyalty. I will be wrong on this one.
I'm taking
Booker,
Andrew and Pete. Give me Stark. Give me Greyjoy. Can't argue with me, so don't try.
All right, who's up next?
I'm going to go ahead and take Joey. Joey's really hungry to prove himself, I think, for this event. I think he's been waiting for a good Bear deck to crop up for a while.
And so am I.
And he'll be in his element. And he'll use his sexy man charms to swing some victories here.
You mean giant smoke? He'll use his giant smoke to charm people.
Yes, absolutely.
For people who don't know, Joey is our Tormund. He looks like Tormund.
We have a lovable Tormund in Indy. That is Joey Smith. Man, the other one's tough. Like, the other one is, I think, really hard to pick out. I don't know Megan super well. Luke's kind of new. I'd put money on Adrian, but like I think if she plays Lanny Crossing, she's gonna struggle. If she comes up with some spicy new Lanny brew.
See, I think Lanny Crossing is really strong right now. Actually, I think
Lanny Crossing is super strong. Yeah.
I think it cropped back up. Actually.
Yep.
Take out to the list. Yeah, a little. It could.
But she needs to be playing HRD Bows. That's the true Lanny way.
The true Lanny.
She's been playing 3x
More.
No matter.
I don't know about any of the words that are getting said right now.
Alex is like, Lanny exists? What is Lanny? That's not orange cards.
Dude, I've been playing yellow cards like
It has been.
Man, give me a break.
Alex Black messages me 15 times a day like, hey, dog, you want to play some Bear decks on Iron Throne while you're at work? And I'm just like,
Did Alex go to you, Jesse, and say I'm becoming a one-trick pony?
Nope. But Alex comes home to his one true prodigal son. He says, "Hey, you want to play some Barra?" I say, "Oh yeah, Daddy. Let's play it up."
Oh shit!
Actually, Alex Black made my heart full today. Alex Black asked me about Drowned God, and I was like, "Papa, I'm here. I've been here the whole time. Why haven't you noticed me?"
Look at me. About that banner package, man. I don't
No.
know.
All right. So we have me. We have TT. Did you pick your second one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Adrian and Joey.
Okay. Mr. Alejandro, what do you got?
I'll pick Adrian and Pete.
Mr. Pete Canoe.
I love Pete to death, but if he doesn't start playing some different fucking houses, I can't pick him.
The faction loyalists. All right, Groth, who do you got?
Taking Andrew Kim, and let's go with Booker.
All right, Lamzik, who do you got?
I'm gonna pick Andrew Kim. He just plays really well at trial, and I think he's a really good player. And I think he's due here. He's been crawling towards the top cut. He's been like just right outside of it, and I think coming off a trial. I'm looking forward to see what he does with Stark, and I'm gonna pick for my second player. I'm gonna pick Adrian. For
Hell
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Who do we have left? We have Black, Alex.
I picked kind of quietly. I picked Andrew and Pete.
Oh wait. Oh, I remember that. The factions.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
I like those players as well, but I just think the combination of faction with player there is a good one to bet on.
All right. Who do we have next?
I think that's it.
No, I mean like what
Okay.
location?
Next
Right.
up is the Dreadfort bracket.
Woo woo.
Whoop, whoop. We've got Jameel Petrie on Stark. He's a great dude. He lives up way far north, almost into Michigan here in Indiana. He comes down for events pretty often. Super solid player. He comes from Pokemon. And he plays other stuff too, but like he's actually a very well-rounded gamer who's played Thrones a little bit off and on in the last year. So he's a great guy to have. We've got some scumbag named CT on
Piece
Lannister.
of shit.
Got him.
We got Xander on Baratheon.
Yep.
We've got Jody DeWallaby on Targaryen. Jody is Jerry's girlfriend, who this will be her second tournament, actually. Her great tournament achievement thus far is beating Jim in her inaugural game at Carla Kyburns.
Yep. Crushed them.
Just
Wow.
smoke,
A feat I have not accomplished yet. That's amazing.
burn that shit to the ground. Super excited she's coming. We've got Eric Leong from Chicago area.
Who is amazing. Like he is an organizer up north in Chicago. He's a main L5R player. He came over to Thrones maybe 7 months ago or so. But he is just a
he's been around.
super good dude. Like loves to hang out, loves board games, loves to talk about the game, ways to get better. He's a really good L5R player. Yeah, I love Eric. And I'm pretty sure
was
it's
nice
Eric Leong Jr.
before I said he's Greyjoy.
He loves Greyjoy. That's who he was on for
does.
J&D 2. He's
Yep.
He was on Vansel's squad.
Yeah, that's right. He actually initially told me, like, I'll play whatever you want me to play. And I was just like, oh, you're such a sweetheart. And then I was just like, Greyjoy doesn't have a lot of entrants right now. And he was like, oh, yeah. I've played them. So, I mean, he's got experience with what he's playing, for sure. We've got Ryan Carvola on Martell. He's from Illinois. He comes out for a lot of the indie events. Super solid player. Incredibly nice guy.
Plays sick-ass decks.
He does. He plays really cool decks. If he's on
He's not a-
Martell,
He's not
I
a
know
coward. He
something
plays
interesting.
fun decks.
He's not a coward. He's got no fear. No fear at all. We've got good old Egg, Chris Eggert, playing Tyrell out of Chicago.
My heart is full. I love this motherfucker.
This
He
this
loves green cards.
of course means that Egg will be getting his rematch against me from your birthday.
Just fucking punishes this idiot. Eggert punished the CT in this matchup.
And then our watch player for the bracket rounded out with Sean Ketterman, who is basically came out of nowhere fairly recently and has spearheaded the Kentucky meta.
Oh, the Kentucky Calzar?
Oh yeah.
I went to the regional there last year, and then I went to the Tennessee regional the next week. So I got to hang out with Sean back-to-back weeks. I went to his home store, and then I went to another store. Sean is great. Like, Sean is like literally super chill. He like heads the meta. He always plays interesting decks. He got other people into the game. He just loves it.
I'm at Kyburns. He's just great. I'm super glad he's coming.
Me too. I like Sean a lot.
Mhm.
He's a Watts boy. Papa's trying to convince him to play the right wall, but we're getting there.
We got a nice even spread of walls, I think, so far at this tournament. As far as
Oh, I think we're gonna lean more towards the right wall. Mr. Lamsick is a coward.
Hey, dude, I haven't said what I'm playing yet, so it's like, could be.
Yeah, he asked me literally like yesterday, like, can I switch to Martel? And I was like, dog, the pods are locked. Can't do this to me.
They literally weren't locked because I wasn't finished making the bracket.
They weren't pretty, but they were locked.
Yeah.
They were locked in.
All right. My picks. I gotta go with my boy, Mr. CT. Wars to Come Native, just one of the best players I've ever seen. Lion Star is real. People still don't understand that Pyromancer's cash is not unique. They're gonna get got.
I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I love the deck I'm playing.
And number 2, I'm gonna go
Send me the
with
list. I'll let you know.
I'm gonna go with CT, and I'm gonna go with Mr. Chris Eggert. I think Eggert is he is hungry. We've talked about this a couple times, but he is hungry for a big, big finish. Eggert is at the level. He is on the level.
How sweet is it going to be to see me and him fight each other with Lanny and Tyrell? That's going to be fun.
One has more gold than the other, so you're going to get got.
Things into
one is going to play their PD at the right time, and my feeling is it's going to be Chris Eggert. No, I think my picks are CT and Eggert. I think Eggert's. I think he's gunning. He's hungry, man. He's really hungry. So, but this is going to be a fun pod to watch. I like a lot of these boys.
I think that picking the guy who is going to be trying to play and run a 64-man tournament is a bold move.
Some of us went 6-1, CT.
That's also at a bar. We'll see. You also were on Stark, and I'm playing Craster. So
Lion Star exists. I don't know if you've looked at it, but it's a card.
I've looked at it.
It says that
I have
Tyrion.
put somewhere between
It says that Tyrion can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. It says that on the card. It says this grants Tyrion to do whatever he wants to do. It says that, and then Tyrion says you have 3 choices. Be smart, fucking idiot. So it's up to you.
So I'm gonna humbly choose Chris Eggert, and I'm gonna go with my boy Sean. I think he's only played in one indie event before this, but now that he's felt out the field, I think he's coming. And Watch is super strong in this format, I think. Knowing you only have to play against certain houses one time gives Watch. Watch has traditionally proven it does really well against the field.
Only one house is going to play We Do Not Sow? Oh, Papa's paying 6 for a wall.
Good luck. I'll be paying 2 gold so that your wall draws you a card for the rest of the game.
Oh, my card draws me a meager, dog. He fucks. All right, Alejandro, who you got?
I'm not gonna bet against CT ever, and I'll take Chris Eggert.
All right, Mr. Alex Black, who do you have?
I'm gonna take homie from Pokemon background, Yamil, and I'll take CT as well, even though he probably will bust.
Solid.
All right, Grop. Who you got?
I'm gonna take Jody. She's gonna burn everyone down, and then I think I'll take.
Get added to Jody's headhunter list of.
Yeah, you are.
If Jody built a reputation as the legend killer of Thrones, I'll be like,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I think I'll go with Greyjoy player Eric.
The childhood best friend doesn't pick him. The fucking 4th grade playground friend says you're gonna choke.
He's playing Lanny.
Piece of shit.
He's playing Lanny, and he's running a tournament. He's not gonna be in it.
If he has Pyromancer's cash in his deck, he's going to lose. That's all I have to say.
Wow.
Negative.
Wow.
He will beat the watch player. He will beat the watch player.
Yeah, but he's gonna
outta
lose
here.
6 other games. I mean, like you
Just
can't.
be ecstatic that your childhood best friend Daryl didn't come on the show tonight to say you can't fucking beat your pod. You're a shitter.
He would definitely say that. He knows what I'm playing. He knows what I'm playing. All right, Lamzik, you're up, buddy.
I'm gonna go Chris and Chris.
Boom.
Chris and Chris.
Done and
CT
dusted.
Wrong and wrong.
Dusted.
All right. What's the next faction? Bring it up.
All right, the next pod is the Stormlands. Gonna get Stormy up in here. We've got Zach Price on Stark.
Super solid player of Oklahoma.
Yep.
He is one of the hungriest players I've ever seen.
Yeah. I would agree
He
with that.
wants a win. Very, very bad.
Super happy to have representation from Oklahoma as well, coming out for that. We've got Matt Davey on Lannister. Matt Davey, who I think also will be coming out of retirement to play one more tournament and then go back into retirement. Good old Matt Davey.
Old Toggle.
Good old Toggle.
No. That's not what you call him. What do you call him?
What?
What do you call Matt Davey?
I call him Toggle or Matt Davey.
No, you call
But I
him a
often scream Hector at him.
Hector. That's-
That's how you call him. You just yell that. That's what you do. Between James Booker, Brad Iyer, and Matt Davey, like this tournament's gonna be lit. There's just gonna be belligerents off the walls for sure.
I said there wasn't gonna be belligerents.
It's in a brewery.
In a brewery.
In the Midwest. What the fuck are you talking about?
64 fucked up Thrones players. It's gonna be
All right. We're watching it on my phone. Really quick. Side note. We don't have to go any further. I just need to announce the Raptors won their first title ever in the NBA. It has nothing to do with this game, but it has to be said. The Warriors were taken down. Clay left in the third, and the Raptors took it down. Canada and outside of America won their first major title. It's very cool. It's very major. In my opinion, it's cool. You can continue, but I think that's amazing.
It's fine. There was nobody important coming up next. So next we have Jess Thompson on Baratheon.
Damn, girl. Why didn't you tell me you were playing yellow cards? Get at me. I got a list for you.
Don't say, I shouldn't have told you. Now it's like Jess has like no downtime at work whatsoever, and now she's gonna be getting messages
Just
from
gonna
Alex
pound her.
today. Hey, play this deck. Try this deck. We've got Steve Gillespie on Targaryen, Indiana's Heart and Soul. One of our favorite-
Vampire Steve.
Vampire Steve, as he is.
So, I wrote the factions the other night. I wrote Steve as Vampire Steve. I sent Nick Hansen his faction. Today, he was like, who the fuck is Vampire Steve? I was like, oh, don't worry. He's a vampire, and his name is Steve. That's enough.
Well, Jesse, spoiler alert, Nick Hansen on Night's Watch.
Wonder who I pick.
Is the sun? The sun is rising tomorrow.
We've got Wars to Come alumni, the returning Ethan Simpson on Greyjoy.
Woo!
Shit.
Ethan took a little break from us, but he is coming back, and he's coming back with a cross to bear or an axe to grind or something. He's like he's super into it. Like he's super back. He's super ready. He's been talking to me about going to Nats and shit already. So like,
Whoa.
Ethan knows his Greyjoy cards. So I think Ethan's back with a vengeance. Illinois' own Sean Becker is gonna be playing Martell. Sean likes his orange cards. I'm sure he'll have something in store for everybody there. We've got Josh Reading, another indie local on Tyrell loyalists, I think, for the most part. Every time I've ever played against him, he's been playing green cards. Oh, yeah, that's the pod. So, what do we think?
I got Jess and Nick,
It was pretty good.
and that's it.
I for sure have Nick Hansen as my first choice. No loyalty
Homer.
matters.
Homer.
Number 2 is Mr. Zach Price with Stark. I think Jess and Zach will fight it out for that second spot, but I think Zach wants it real bad, and I'm going to get Jess Thompson real fucked up.
Shit, we've got a Renly sighting, folks.
Oh, yeah, he's up. He was napping and he's awake.
Oh, Renly, good boy.
Ethan's back, and then he just immediately shot out of his dog bed.
The only way Jesse could like Renly more is if his name was Stannis.
Although only one of them has good boy traits.
Hell yeah.
That's true. That's very true.
True. I'm going to take Davey because I want him to show up. And I'm going to take... I'm not going to pick Nick because everybody else is going to pick Nick. And I think Nick's
he's never played Big Wall before. He has no reps. Don't worry
you best
about
take
that.
the woman you're married to. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. No chance.
Nick Hansen's name in Wausau Game of Thrones is not Big Wall. Don't worry.
It's Corwall, baby. Come on.
I don't know Zach that well, but
Zach is hungry as fuck.
He seems super solid. I guess I'll go with Jess and Davey.
And you've cursed Jess to an eternity of losing. You've never picked her, and now you have.
Yep.
She's cursed.
Let it out, Davey.
His fault.
All right, Alejandro,
It
you
doesn't
got
matter
it.
if Steve truly wins because he's the only one that's going to be alive in 300 years.
I'll take Jess too, just rounding it out, and I will take our boy Ethan.
Nice.
All right, Grothy, who you got, buddy?
Jess and Nick Hansen.
Boom.
Woo.
All right, what's next?
All right, next up, we're going to cross the Essos, baby. We're going to the Slavers Bay bracket.
Did Lamzik pick?
Oh, sorry.
No, but it's fine. You can just skip
No, we want Lamzik's pick.
Oh,
I'm recording these picks. It's life or death,
Okay.
honestly.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go with Jess and Nick too. It's a tough pod, but I think that they're both gonna finish 1 and 2.
All right. I think good players.
Slavers Bay we are.
All right.
How boring, huh?
All right, Slavers Bay. We've got Matt Kreft on, you guessed it, Stark.
He's never played it before. It's untrue. Doesn't happen.
We've got Patrick Zeepole from here in Indy on Lannister. We've got Brian Fred making his return from Gen Con last year. He'll be playing Baratheon.
J&D King of Swiss #1.
Brian Fred, he's a real dude. He can not play a card game for a year, pick up a deck, and just come smash your face in. He's a natural card player.
He knows how to play cards, I hear.
Yeah. The thing. We've got fucking sweetheart #1, James Abel on Targaryen.
He's a Sith Lord.
Yep. Master Abel.
He's a Sith Lord. We've got Ben West playing Greyjoy at Wausau.
Oh, he doesn't like Greyjoy at all. No one has to worry. The only tournament he's ever ran is called Raiding the Bay of Ice. Not a big deal.
I was actually confused at first when Ben signed up and put Lannister down. I thought it was a mistake. And I was just like, 2 weeks later, he's like, no, dog, switch me to Greyjoy. And I'm like, that's more like it. That's what I know. We got Aaron Groth on Martell.
Oh, Grothy. My heart and soul.
We got Brian Hart on Tyrell. And Jesse Carpenter on Night's Watch.
All right, let me picture it. Let me point out how big of a piece of shit Aaron Groth is. Real quick. Aaron Groth called me 30 minutes before we roll for the pods on Tuesday. He says, I'm going to send you my Martell deck list. I want you to look at them. We roll. We're in the same pod. We beg CT to fix it and not put us in the same pod. We all beg him. He won't do it. This motherfucker is honest for the first time in his life. Won't separate us. Groff doesn't talk to me for 2 days. Piece of shit.
There's a lot of stakes in the line, dog.
It's on now, bitch.
Oh, as they say in Highlander, there can be only two. So
they do say that, don't they?
They definitely say that.
They do say they do say that.
So like, I'm excited. I'm just excited as fuck about this pod. Like, I think Ryan and James are gonna have a super amazing match. I think Jesse and Groth are gonna have an amazing match. Watching Ben and like Kraft play, like that's a matchup I've never seen. I actually haven't seen a lot of these people play against each other before. Like, I'm just super excited for these matchups.
My picks are. I know what I'm playing. I know what Ben's playing. I know what Groth is playing. My picks are Ben and Groth. I think Ben is playing a really good deck. Ben loves Greyjoy. He's a quiet player. Like, I don't think a lot of people give Ben some love, man.
Is Ben playing Drown God? If Matt Kraft can just like steal his guys with power, I know what that's like. The Matt Kraft's taking this pod down. If he's playing dirty old ass win challenges with big 7-cost guys, Greyjoy, everybody better watch out.
What if he's playing Bo?
What?
Ben. My picks are Ben. Ben's been. I think he's itching for a big win. I think he's on the cusp. We've all been there. I truly believe all of us have been there, where we've been like, God damn, I gotta win soon, or like, there's no point in me playing. Like, I need to win soon. I'm on the cusp.
Playing, living.
I think Ben is. Well, that's me and you. We don't need to go that far. That's my psychiatrist. I pay a lot of money, an hour a week for that. No, I think Ben is hungry for a win, man. I do, and he's playing his faction he loves. I've pushed him towards a good deck, in my opinion. I think Ben is hungry for it, and I think Groth is. In my opinion, I think Groth is the most underrated player in America. Not just because he's on the cast. I think he is at my level or above it. I truly think he's above it. I've never lost. I've never won against Groth. I've never won against Groth. I think Groth is that good. And I think this is the tournament. He's coming home. I think it's time to prove it. I know what he's playing. I think it's going to get some people by surprise. Those are my picks. So I think I'll go 4-3. If I have to judge, I think I'll go 4-3. I don't think I'm a 5-2 guy. I think I'll win some early games. I think I'll get pretty drunk, and I think I'll lose some late games. I think there's a better version of Big Wall, and I think there's a version I'm going to play of Big Wall, and I think I'm going to play that version. So those are my picks. But I think, like, there's some surprising people here. I played against Z-Pole. Z-Pole's got game. Kraft has got super game with Stark. Brian Fred is scary. If he touches a card game, Brian Fred is scary. I think Brian Fred is surprising at any point. Bear is really fast. Master Abel. I don't know Brian Hart. Brian Hart's the only one I do not know. Looking forward to my personal pod. I do not know him.
I was going to say, in my pod, I think one thing that... the one thing, like, especially, like, all of us that, like, are super used to talking every week, we know what decks each other are going to play. Like, we know our styles. We know what we like. Yep. The thing in my pod that scares me the most is that, like, I don't play with almost any of these people on a regular basis. I don't talk to all of them on a super regular basis. And I have no idea what most of these people are going to play outside of just, like, these cards are good in this pod, like, in this house. So it's like, not knowing what somebody is bringing to the table is actually a pretty big deal in this kind of format. So, like, Brian could definitely just surprise some people.
All right, who's next?
Tyrell can do a lot of things. I'm going to take Beef Red because he's my dude. Aaron Groth, who decided not to pick me, has lifted the weight off of me having to consider him. So I'll take Kraft because if I don't, he'll just beat me later. And I mean, he's on Stark. Stark's good. Matt's good. Like, to
Kraft does have your number.
We'll take the boring route. I mean, I hope he loses because I don't want to have to possibly see him later on in the tournament. Motherfucker's always got my number, except in draft. I can beat him in draft.
CT's Matt Kretz is my Sean Becker. I look across and just know I'm gonna lose, no matter what I put on the fucking table.
If Jesse rakes up those 5-ish wins, he's gonna be looking over. He's gonna be looking across the sea at that fucking Becker bracket, just being like, "Don't fucking win."
Well, you didn't pick me, so it's not. It's okay. I'm not gonna get those 5.
I think you're gonna be way too drunk to move on.
That's probably good. Fair.
I'm also
All right.
you haven't played a game of Real Thrones in probably 4 months.
Did you say Magic?
Exactly.
Oh, you said Throne. Sorry, dog. All right. Alejandro, who you got, baby?
I'm going to take my 2018 Jesse's Name Day Tournament teammate and go with Brian. And I'm going to take Groth as number 2.
Good call. Brian is going to crush it.
Groth, who you got, baby?
I got you and Brian Fred.
What? You gonna pick yourself?
No.
Aaron Groth's in it to have fun.
Tacky and unprofessional.
Aaron Groth's
Not because he doesn't think he will, but because he can't.
I play Martell, so I always have a chance with Martell. I will say that. Martell is my house. Is the one I feel the most comfortable.
You know what I'm playing.
I know exactly what you're playing.
Big
You're trying to get me to play it. I mean, I would.
not
I mean, I am, but this is tough. This is tough. I mean, I'm looking at this pod, and it's like I know you got you with Big Wall, you got Aaron Martell. I mean, I think Ben, you were saying he was big on Greyjoy, and I think Greyjoy is really good. And I just know that Matt Kraft is a really solid player, and I watched Brian Fred last year at your name day, just like go straight towards like the top cut there and in it pretty far. I'm gonna have to go Jesse with you for one of them for sure. I have to as a fellow watch player, and I think. Yeah, I think I read a certain card that in the chat that Aaron could possibly be playing, so I'm gonna go with Aaron. And
Oh, that card's good.
so if that's true, I'm definitely going Aaron.
All right, Alex Black, who you got, buddy?
I gotta go. Jesse, I mean, you don't sound super confident in yourself, so I think I might pass you up on this one.
Have I ever been confident in myself ever?
That's
no,
true.
but you got the passion though.
All right, fuck it. All right, I'll take Jesse and I'll take Groth. I mean, I'm not surprised in anybody with these picks.
Worst to come mark here.
Yeah, I have a bit of a mark. That's true.
Daddy's home. Daddy's home. All right, let's move on. Buzz, there's 2 worst to come people, but you have to make a selection on Slaver's Bay. So we're gonna be looking for it in the chat. We're gonna move on, but Buzz, we're looking for you, buddy.
What?
Yeah.
See, now they can hear me. Okay.
Are you coming on to make the selection?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! Buzz is coming on to make the selection.
Let's see. There are no Swedish or Finnish names.
Actually, Buzz, only you and Alejandro truly know the deck I'm playing.
Yeah, I
sent it to you. Me and Nick Hansen are playing the exact same deck.
Yeah, I love it. So then I'll pick you as first, obviously.
I love you, Buzz.
And then the Stark player, because Stark is busted.
Oh,
Very true.
Rip Groth.
Makes sense. All right. So we're off to last but not least, Sun Spear. This bracket is ridiculous. So we've got Stuart King on Stark. Stuart is amazing. Stuart is like one of my favorite people. He's one of the only people who lives more than like 100 miles away that I was just messaged and was like, "You want to come to Crasters?" He was like, "Yeah, dog, I'm there." And it's just like, oh wow, Why can't it always be this easy to just get great players?
I met
insane distances for you.
I met Stuart King in a regional last year, and we have fallen very hard for each other. Like he came to J&D last year. Like we stayed together at Gen Con last year. He stayed with me and Alejandro. Just a super solid dude. Like we played on J&D 2 together. We talk about cards a lot. Like Stuart, South Carolina boy. He's got the Southern charm, and he just went 5-2. And Jesse's name day was Stark. Like he knows the matchups, he knows the decks. Like he's scary here for sure, in my opinion. He is very scary.
Works pretty good right now, I guess. We've got Trevor Borth on Lannister. He is coming from Kentucky Meta. He is a member of the Khalasar. He likes his Lannister cards. He is an incredible guy to just hang out, have a beer with, talk some cards. Super cool.
This is the top bracket, in my opinion.
We've got Asa Haynes on Baratheon. So she has not been to an indie event in quite some time. She actually used to come out pretty often. I'm super glad. This is also kind of a homecoming for her as well as like Groth. So to me, she's always been kind of adopted indie meta, and I'm super glad that she's back. And I think that, Bara's a really good house for her to play. So I'm stoked to see what she comes up with.
I think she's the one red cloak of the tournament. So I think she's going to be representing that whole...
Andrew Kim?
Oh, yeah.
I thought Edward was a red cloak. Is Andrew a red cloak as well?
I think so. I
did not think so, actually.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
So I did not know. But I think she came back for the one tournament at J&D 2. She final tabled in the second biggest tournament in the U.S. this year. And I think she is hungry. She's also final tabled a Worlds event. She is incredibly strong. She is hungry. I think she is going to show up and do some damage, in my opinion.
You know who's hungry? I'm hungry. So that's why I'm eating Chipotle. Apologies.
That's okay.
Random. Targaryen, Chase Stalsberg. I at least twice today when I went to fill his name in, I just put Night's Watch by default. And then I kept remembering that he's playing fucking Targaryen. So I forgot Chase has 2 decks, Builders and Dario Speedwagon.
Me and you both know very well what Papa's playing. Chase
actual best deck name of all time. Best deck name of all time.
Chase is... I want to know how people feel, because there's always been a myth in this game about getting killed turn 1, not by combo, but by aggro. But people are going to figure it out. There's a 3-claim plot, and Dario Speedwagon exists. Chudsburg is making it through. That's all I'm saying.
We've got reigning disaster at Crasters 2-time champion Jerry Crane playing Greyjoy. What's there to say? Jerry shows up, makes everybody his bitch. It's an annual tradition.
This pod is going to make it very hard for him.
It is. He definitely has his work cut out for him. We've got Eric Zorns from Colorado, I believe. Roth probably knows him better than I do. This will be first time appearance in an indie event for him as well.
Yeah, he's from our Denver meta. He's been playing a lot of Martell.
Coming out from Denver.
Yep, he's coming out from Denver. It surprised me. Yeah, I didn't know he was coming.
I'm bringing the devil's lettuce for all.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, boys. I've never met this guy.
We got previously mentioned Ben Plumier playing Tyrell. Again, new player. Super excited to meet these guys for the first time. Try and make sure that they have an excellent first indie experience. And our last player on Night's Watch, Michael Lanzik.
All right, I'll go first. My first pick is pretty easy. Stalsberg. You can call me a homer if you want. I'm not going to pick against Wassa. I've also played against Chase playing Dario Speedwagon. Pretty scary. Also, for some reason, they printed a 3-claim plot in this game. Don't know why, but they did. They gave it to us. They gave the people what they wanted.
Yes, I love it. Love that point.
Number 2 is tough. All right, Lamzik. It's time to admit to the world.
Yeah, which wall are you playing, dog? You can either pick
for real?
Is that supposed to improve his chances?
Absolutely,
I'm not even playing the wall, so I think I might.
All right, my pick is Issa Haynes. It would be Lamzik if he would tell me, "Hey, I got some extra Italian walls for you if you want them."
Yeah, hell yeah, I'll take
no Jerry. Is that what I'm hearing from Jesse?
No.
I think Jerry. I love Jerry. He plays interesting decks. I think he's
Just
gonna
say
live
it. He's resting on his laurels. Say it. That's what you want to say.
I think he's gonna live and die at the sea. I know for sure Stahlsberg is making it through because he might outside of Bratz might be the best card player that plays this game. Number 2, it's Lamzik or Issa. Lamzik, you gonna play Papa's Wall? You gonna play Big Daddy?
I'm definitely playing Big Daddy for sure.
All right, so Lamzik's out. He's playing Big Daddy. He's playing number 4 wall. I'm picking Salzburg and Issa Haynes. Those are my picks. Just kidding. I'm picking Lamzik. Fuck that. I'm gonna convince him to play 6-cost wall. I've got almost a month.
You do.
I've got 2 weeks actually.
Shoot me a message. Let's go.
Not quite. So if Mike plays 4-cost wall, I pick him because builders can tear up this format.
Coward.
Coward. If he doesn't, I want to pick somebody else. So here's the other thing too, right? I'm not going to pick Jerry either because I want Jerry to prove me wrong and I want him to fight for it. So I
also don't want to play Jerry. I also don't want to play Jerry in the cut, so I'm not picking him.
Trying to set up some negative juju.
I'm not even saying I'm going to make the cut, but on the off chance I do, I don't want to play Jerry. So
I think Jerry's the man, but like that's the thing, right? You don't pick the man. You go for the young blood, the hungry spirits.
It's me, dude.
Mike Lamzik's coming all the way from the East Coast. He's got something to prove.
Oh, yeah.
He might.
Ace hasn't played an indie event in like a year and a half or 2 years at this point. Like she's got something to prove.
It was before I played the game.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 years. I think she's hungry, man. I think she felt that final table. I think she wants it real bad. She played the matchup well too, but that final table was insane.
She's no stranger to beating up on indie folks left and right.
Don't you ever say left and right like that.
my mistake. Yeah, this is a rough bracket for sure. Super rough. So, yeah, next.
Alejandro.
I'm apparently a mark for name day teammates because I'm going to take 2 of them here. I'm going to pick Isabel and Jerry to come out of this pod. I got to work with both of them. I worked with Isabel a lot on her deck, and she has a really, really good mind for the game. So, and I think Jerry's just... I can't pick a guy who's just won this back-to-back times. So that's where I'm going.
All right, Lamzik?
Yeah, I mean, just chasing Asa for sure. I'm just not looking forward to this. Driving
halfway across the country.
Yeah,
to get that ass spanked.
Yeah.
Disaster Crashers 4, Mike Lamzik. I am not looking forward to this.
Oh, I'm quitting after this for sure. No. No, this is going to be a really, really fun pod to be in. Now, like when I heard that, like the 2-time Crasters champ was in the same pod, I'm like, of course.
I wish I could. I want to just drop out of the tournament and watch every match in this pod.
Well, I'll definitely be going to every game, so you'll be able to catch some of my games.
All right, Mr. Aaron Groff.
Oh, I'm definitely going with Chase, that Dario Speedwagon, and then I'm gonna go with Jerry. Gotta go with 2-time champ.
Jerry gets a little bit of love, at least.
All right, Alex Black.
All right, the Warriors just lost. There's no way Jerry's going 3-peat on this one. I'm going with my homie Mike because he showed up on the cast and he's playing the correct wall.
Ooh,
And
nice.
I'm hearing a lot of good things about Isabel and Chase. That's a tough call.
One is a fellow weeb.
Yeah,
one
and the
is
other
a
one's
fellow-
playing the faction.
one is a-
and the other one's
one
playing
is
the.
One is a fellow
Stop
Magic
trying to
player.
argue for Chase and let me make my goddamn pick.
You better not pick
Isabel.
against them.
Playing the color cards that I want to
You
play.
piece of shit. Chase will never forgive you, bitch. He'll never forgive you.
He'll be all right.
All right, so I think those are our predictions. Those are the brackets. All right, so now going through, we have to, each one of us picks a winner who's going to take it all down. We know what faction they're playing. I'm going to go first. I'm going to pick good old Mr. Nick Hansen. He's hungry for that win. It's been a little bit. He loves these big tournaments. He always gets better as time goes on. He's a fucking psychopath.
how's that gonna help? Nobody ever gets stabbed in this bar. I like this
I
bar.
don't know what's wrong with him.
This
I don't
bar.
know. I love him. He's gonna just crush it. I'm picking Nick Hansen. I have a good idea what he's playing. Yep. My pick is Nick Hansen to take this thing down, jump back up on them Jousting Pavilion scoreboards. Yep, that's my pick. So, Mr. CT, who is going to take down Disaster at Crasters 3?
I'm gonna say that even though somehow he doesn't get out of his pod, he wins it for the third time. Jerry Crane. Somehow, I don't. Honestly, that's my cop-out answer. My real answer, fuck, man, I don't know. I can't even imagine. Fucking. I'm gonna pick. Let's see what we got here. Should I just put the pressure on Lamzik now?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't do that.
Ooh.
Down? Man, it's hard to call.
You can, just don't put any money on that.
Oh, for sure. I will not do that. I'm not that crazy.
Come on.
If he ain't no coward, he plays the right wall, he can win.
Hell yeah.
The thing is that let's say most of the people I would put money on to win this tournament are like on Lannister, which makes me then immediately not want to put money on.
Also, 9 out of the top 10 people who I picked to win this tournament, it's at a brewery and messes with the results.
Yeah, that's also true.
I'm not drinking.
Anyone who picks me is a fucking idiot. Like,
A safe bet here would be like Alejandro, but
he doesn't play. He's not playing.
what a fool.
What?
Safe bet.
Say, what?
Safe bet.
I can't.
I'll take that bet. How much?
Fuck. I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I'll take the field versus Alejandro.
Me too. I'll bet money on that, dog.
Who did I pick out of the Queen's
Oh,
Crown
fuck.
bracket?
Which one's Queen's Crown?
The very first one. Who did I pick?
I can't read it.
I
Let
think
me
I
read it.
picked.
Hang on. You picked Daryl Weber and Sean. Or no, you picked Hansen. Picked Jim Hansen, which is also a very good pick for winning the tournament.
Am I crazy, or is Tom McKenzie not coming to this tournament?
He's
Yeah,
not.
I brought that up already. Tom
He's
McKenzie will not be here.
He's a coward.
He's a coward. Tom McKenzie, who has never missed an indie event in his life, who drives down here to Cube Draft, who told me like 6 months ago, I was like, I can't do Crasters if it's on this day. And I'm like, why? And it's like some crazy, mysterious reason that he refuses to explain. He's just like,
you put it on that date?
a year. that I can't be in a tournament.
This is day 25. He's ignored my message.
This just in, surprising
Tom,
for
I'm still
everyone.
waiting for you.
This just in, surprising for everyone. Drake is lit as fuck at Jurassic Park.
All right. So my pick, I'm going to pick two people because they're both going to be playing builders with the right wall. It's either going to be Mike Lamzik or Daryl Weber.
Cowards, both of them.
They're both basically the same person in my heart.
They're both basic bitches for sure.
Basic.
If they choose to play that wall, basic bitches.
I'm going to change all my picks so that Lamzik and Jesse now have to fight at the tournament.
No,
They're both-
no.
They're both for sure wearing pink on Wednesdays. They're a part of the masquerade. They're a part of it. Cowards. Cowards. All right, Lamzik, who you picking, dog?
So this is really tough. So it's awesome. The field is ridiculous. I think I'm gonna have to go with Asa Haynes. I think that I'm not sure if a lot of people remember. I think the first year of 1.0, they absolutely tore up the tournaments. And after the performance at Jesse's, I'm pretty confident they'll be right back up there at that final table. So I would put them down for sure.
All right. Alejandro, who you got, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta echo everybody else's sentiments. It's a really hard field to pick from. I almost feel like we gotta pick CT, otherwise we're never gonna hear the end of it. But I'll let that go to somebody else.
And if there's one tournament, I have no ego back. For sure, it's the one that is in the bar that I have to try and run.
Alejandro,
Okay. I can freely pick.
come to Papa. You know what I'm playing. Come to Papa.
Which
You know.
You've been telling me all night that you're not gonna fuck.
You know.
one?
You
Which
know.
one?
People,
You won 6
Quote,
You know-
45
you
seconds
know-
ago. Anybody who picked me is a fucking idiot.
you know people are gonna, but you know deep down people are not gonna be able to handle double Reigns of Autumn. You know it. You know it. Come home.
Oh my God, no, you're not doing that, please.
He's not.
yeah.
He's not. He's not.
He's doing it. He's doing
Come
it.
home. Have you ever read the card Botley's Crew? I have. Papa has.
Uh,
Come home.
I once
read
really
it.
late at night played a really terrible Night's Watch Kraken deck. It was horrible. I'm never doing it again.
I've seen a couple of Motley Crews this week in my opponent's dead piles. I can't remember what it said.
it's really hard to pick, actually. There are a lot of people that can take this. So, I think I'm mostly torn between two Bear players. But I'm gonna just take Jim Hansen.
Solid pick. I
Just
think
gotta
it's
get there.
I think it's between Jim Hansen, you, and CT is the best players in the world without card design. So Jim Hansen is terrifying in the Midwest. He has legitimately like a 79% winning percentage or something stupid, like literally
74,
stupid.
But it's still really high.
It's insane. So that's a solid pick. Lamzik, who you got?
Whoa. So I'll go again.
Did you already go?
Yeah, I went again.
Who did he pick?
We
Was
got
that listening?
Asa Haynes.
Oh, sure. Aaron Croft, who do you got?
Colt
Sure.
says that reigning Midwest champion Alex Tonak is going to win.
He does say that.
Nice.
Well, Colt isn't on this fucking cast. So Colt doesn't get to pick.
I
Colt's
also
not going to be in the fucking tournament.
saw Tonak play against the big wall, and I thought he was going to lose his fucking mind. He doesn't believe that's a card.
I think he does now. After this, he does.
Tonak's a great player. He won with Targaryen's when I did not think it was good. So
Yeah, I told you it was.
shut up, CT. All right, Groff, who's
we
going?
really degenerated here.
I'm gonna put over my main girl, Jess Thompson. I think she's got it.
Oh, the wife of my best friend, but not my best friend. He can't even make it out of the fucking top. Figures.
Jesse,
Sounds like-
who's talking to me right now? I don't
Some
recognize
idiot.
him.
Some fucking coward.
Oh shit!
He's probably gonna play some Shadows deck and not Clans. I'm like a bitch.
Oh.
I am not playing any shadow cards not named Regent's Guard or Mandan Moore
Oh my
Lanny
god,
Wall.
garbage.
or Robert Strong.
Lanny watch with the core wall.
I'm playing the right wall for sure.
Papa's home. Daddy's
Not
home,
playing
boys.
anymore. You're garbage if you don't play.
All right.
Man.
All right. So is that everyone?
I think so.
We get everyone's predictions. All right. So
Yeah,
that
I don't need to go.
Alex Black. Who do you got, dog?
You
Fuck.
need Chipotle. Cadoba's the real one.
Chipotle wins.
Cadoba wins.
Chipotle wins. No, dude, no, check this out. I got Jerry with the 3-peat. Even if I didn't pick him to make the cut.
You have to pick
Hedge-
someone who
hedging your
made the
bets.
cut. You coward piece of shit.
Fuck you, Jesse. Don't tell me how to live my life.
All
Okay,
right,
wait, hold on, Jesse. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Is the facial configuration? Are you sticking it out until Crasters?
Can we get a vision?
Because if you keep it like that, then I'll pick you. But
All right,
if
I'll
you're growing it back out,
I'll keep
then-
it. I'll keep it for you.
All right, Jesse Carpenter. I picked Jesse Carpenter.
Daddy's home.
And just because of this weird stipulation, the supernatural element of it, Jerry loses the third crown. Shave his beard like a fucking redneck idiot.
Yep. People don't understand what nothing burns
Dude.
like the cold and the night flyer does.
It wouldn't be a shitty Midwest prophecy if it didn't involve somebody's facial hair.
Papa knows.
Buzz, can we include a picture, a link?
The Midwest is the best. You walked into it. It wasn't me. It was not me. You did it to yourself.
So we don't want to actually have a conversation about this. I see.
We
So
can't.
if
No,
you want to
I think these all.
tournament, what you do is you get a Ouija board, a knife, and you read up on a book about blood sacrifice, and then you'll get exactly what you want.
I truly believe. Speaking to Alejandro's true point, I believe honestly that so first of all, these fan-run tournaments, Thrones War, Thronetoberfest, J&D, Lord of the Crossing, Crasters, Kyburns, these ones that pull just a lot of people. A lot of these next events have just been popping up. It's that I think, honestly, people are starting to come out of these fan run tournaments, and then people are starting to speak about them. But these alt art formats are exciting because anyone can compete. It's exciting. It's different rather than like the regular joust.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not a Swiss, format, right? And that's really like maybe that's the big allure. I'm starting to think like I've got Highgarden here coming up. Not sure when yet, but do I need to like change up the format? Do I need to get some kind of
just tell Papa so I can buy a plane ticket? But I do think that like these unique formats are so much fun for a card game because we're so used to just playing these like joust formats. And like if I was someone who like every joust tournament like I just maybe couldn't compete with, or like I wasn't playing enough to compete with, I just wasn't like playing a lot, like these alternate formats get me thinking about the game differently, which then get me excited for the game, right? Like me thinking about the game, like, and as someone who plays a lot, it has me doing that. Like during my lull times, I go to these fan run tournaments that are different formats, and I'm like, oh, this has me thinking about the game differently. Mm-hmm. I should do this or this or this or this, and it's exciting. It's fun. It's exciting to be a part of something that's big, and especially fan run. Like going to a fan run tournament just feels so much differently to me than going to an official tournament. And I'm not saying the FFG is shit or anything like that. I am not one of the people who's going to shit all over them. I'm just saying like supporting.
It's an alternative. It's something else. We know what we're going to get.
Filler. It's
supporting. And supporting someone who I know truly cares about the game and the time and the passion that I love or want to be a part of, it's fucking exciting, man. It's fucking exhilarating. Like,
I think the big thing that pulls people in for something like specifically Crasters is like half our player pool are veteran, like seasoned veterans that want to go to a big tournament that has a lot of kind of build up to it, like what we're doing. And then half of it is like new players who are excited about maybe going to their first big tournament with a lot of big players and knowing that they don't have to just smash into Stark and Greyjoy like 6 times. And creating outlets like this, I think, is important to make people excited about the game at a time where maybe the meta isn't the most exciting that it's been.
With most exciting or least exciting, I think it's like it's so opinionated, right? Because it's just all based on like what you like or what you don't like or what you think is good or what you think is bad for the game. But like knowing that no matter what, these fan run tournaments, you're going to see a balance of the meta, and you're going to get to experience it with 63 other players who play the game you love. It's a fucking drug, man. Honestly, it's a fucking drug. Like, I love going to a tournament, doing something that I love for nothing. Like, for these fucking fan-made alt-arts that I lose my fucking mind over. Like, I lose my mind over these fucking nothing. Like, nothing. It's exciting.
You get to drink beer, spin a wheel to get trinkets that you don't know what you're going to get. A stack of cards you're not allowed to use in official tournaments, and somehow it's still just like
this thing that can become monotonous based on how they do the restricted list. To like competitive people, these fan run tournaments mix it up for me. It's exciting. I
think that it's just it goes to show that these passion projects, are something that the organizers really pour their soul into. Perhaps more than the sort of dedicated competitive Thrones tournaments. They feel a little more like sterile, I guess, and I think that draws more people out. I think I'd be lying if I said I thought there were more competitive Thrones players in the world than there were people who enjoy something less competitive. I think there definitely are more of the latter. So these events cater to those people and they get them out and traveling, which is good, meeting the community. And yeah, we need both, I think, is the answer to Alejandro's question. And maybe your event doesn't need to be a hyper competitive joust tournament, but I think there's room. There's definitely evidence shows there's room for these community run sort of alternative format events to thrive.
I think we talk so much about how unlucky we are as a game that we're not as big as some of like the major hitters, Pokemon. There'll be High Garden on the East Coast. I'm going to be at both. I love all the fan run tournaments. They're so exciting. In Europe, there's tons of fan run tournaments too, whether it be Fracas or Varberg or any of these. They're just fucking, or Stalik, the big one. It's insane.
Every single person that's coming to this tournament, like whether I haven't met you yet or whether I hate your guts like Jake Platt, I love the fact that you're going to be there, and I love, like, you have no idea how much it means to me to, like, make this happen. Finally. Like, it's an instant feeling.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I'm definitely happy that I'm going. And
it only took me, like, 8 months to convince you, so...
It took me a little bit of convincing, but yeah, it's hard. But it's hard not to come out to these events, though. Like it's just really hard. Like if it's like a straight like war event, or if it's like the Craster, or even if it's just like anything ran by like a fan, a player. I mean, I think like the West Coast, the Midwest, and like the Next. Yeah, I think we're not replacements for FFG, but it's a really nice filler and complement to their schedule.
I will say 100% that I think we're better. So if you're not in the top 5% of players that think they can compete for a card design, I think fan run events are better. I'm just being completely honest. I think they're more fun.
They're more enjoyable.
They're usually ran at bars, which I personally enjoy. I love them. So
I never would have thought that like on any given weekend you could go to a Thrones tournament. Like now there's always something. There's always something coming up.
I have said 100 times that Thrones has saved my life. It's the best part of my life. I love it with all my heart. I love all my friends. I appreciate you being with us tonight. We've answered a lot of questions. We've went over a tournament. We've went over the Worlds announcement. It has been a super fun episode. Thank you so much, Lamzik, for joining us. I'm going to go around, see what we're doing. Alex Black, what are you doing next week? Anything fun?
Next week is Benji is having a Melee tournament. He's having like a Melee like burger grill out thing. I have no idea what I'm playing.
Fuck. Daddy will send you some lists. We'll chat it up. Oh my god.
It's also GP Seattle, so some people will be in from out of town. I probably am not playing anything significant there, but I'll be hanging out with some people I haven't seen in a while, and yeah, and then I'm just playing yellow cards.
Help me create it that we need Daddy back for 3 episodes in a row. We're shooting for 3. That's the one we're going for.
3-peat.
3-peat. We want him back. We all love him.
It'll be a good omen for Jerry if you do 3 episodes in a row of the worst to come.
That'll be
If
so
he
exciting.
wins, yeah. If he wins afterwards, it'll be.
No,
perfect.
because we're going on 2 days before, buddy.
No, I know. That's what I mean. Like if I do it and then he wins, it'll be perfect.
Yep, it'll be
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
All right, Lamzik, anything going on in the next week, buddy?
Besides doing graphic design for CT, yeah, tomorrow we got Kelly and myself and Riley. We're going to a state park and to spend the day hiking. So that's really, I'm looking forward to that a lot. And no, it's really it.
That's so awesome. So awesome. Such a good boy. Such a good boy.
The best boy, honestly.
Yep. CT, you got anything going on this next week except preparing for the disaster at Crasters?
Definitely bitching at Mike Lamzik to stop going outside.
Dude, it's like, come on.
The look on Mike's face says it all.
Dude, well, you know what? Like, I'm so glad I finally finished those brackets though, because I would have never heard the end of it. I'm not trying to keep this on longer and step on CT's time here, but yeah. So I mean, last year, there was way less people. Every bracket had 6 name slots, and there was 1 less pod. And so CT tells me, oh yeah, so like we're definitely aiming for 64. It's gonna be great. So really, what I'll need you to do is just add 2 more names to each pod. Oh, and then we're gonna add another pod. Oh, and then can you add a pod runner-up and pod champion? Yeah, that shouldn't take long at all. Okay, well
Also, hey,
Like,
Lamzik, can you also do all the alt arts for the tournament as well, please?
yeah, I mean,
Not a big deal, idiot.
So,
It won't
12
take any
hours
time.
later.
Won't take
Yeah,
any time.
Only took me about 10 hours to finish that whole PDF.
The
So
one thing that we get you to do, because none of us fucking idiots have any idea how to do, and we're all like, "Oh, it's so simple, Lamzik.
yeah,
Just fucking do it."
yeah, it shouldn't take any time at all.
Because, like, all I have to do is envision cool shit in my head. But I don't have the artistic capability to translate that into a physical product. That's my job.
How
It's
dare
gonna
you
be
be good at what you do, Lamzik?
Damn it.
Let's
I'm happy to do it for everyone, though. Sorry, so go ahead. CT.
All right, CT, what do you got going on the next week, buddy?
Honestly, I'm happy that I don't have to grind on people to come to the tournament, but now I actually have to make sure everything is ready for the tournament. Actually, I'm just going to spend a lot of time at home this weekend relaxing. Hopefully, I'll play some cards with some goofy Lanny decks and find something cool to play. But
Hopefully, I keep checking my HBO and see that you finish The Sopranos. So that's all I'm hoping for.
I'm real annoyed with the end of season 5, so I don't even want to watch.
Oh my
season
God! Please, no, we cannot do this. Right now.
let's sign off. We'll
Alejandro,
continue talking. If anybody
Alejandro,
wants
you
to
got
come hang
anything?
out. No, I don't have anything. Nothing for me.
Me, I don't have anything. I'm just hanging out with friends.
Hopefully, you're
Thank
growing
you.
out your facial hair really fast.
13 days, baby. I lost the bet for 14 days. I did it yesterday. Thank you so much for everyone joining us tonight. We hope you listen to it, or we see you back in 2 weeks. We hope you join us next time on the Wars to Come. Buzz, you can cut it.
If anybody wants to come hang out on Skype.